What is up, everyone? I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kyle, and we are
The Brothers Williams. So good to be able to say that again. I am so glad you were back. And he's graduated now, so he's like, he's in the know. So
sure, yeah. If that's what college graduates are.
I'm just glad to have my brother back and to be able to be doing this again. So, today we're talking about Avengers Endgame. After a week of it being out, we've finally seen it. And for those of you who haven't, you're going to want to click off this video until you have, because we will be going heavy on the spoilers this time. Right,
exactly. So are we just going to dive right into anything that's spoilery, or are we going to like give a redacted review first, as it were?
Yeah, a redacted review is good. Yeah, okay. Something short and simple.
Yeah, so Avengers Endgame is, in my opinion, probably the best Marvel movie that they have produced. By far. I think the tone is great throughout the whole movie. They allow things to have real weight to them. The decisions that the characters are making, the things that happen in the movie feel, like they really are, if we make one mistake, there's
weight to the consequences.
Yeah. And then the characters, I just feel like they all were in character, if that makes sense. Nobody was like breaking character and acting in ways that they wouldn't have acted.
Right. In previous movies, we've talked about it with each other before. Sometimes, especially noticeable in Guardians of the Galaxy, where the characters have been portrayed in a way that they're trying to make the character funnier or funny in a different way.
Like everybody's got a zing pow ha gotcha kind of thing,
but the characters aren't being themselves in order to be funny, and that kind of takes away from it.
The characters aren't they're not consistent.
It made it feel like it was just too much.
Yeah, it felt like they were trying too hard and stuff. But that doesn't really happen at all in this movie. The characters that are traditionally funnier do and say funny things. Those who aren't don't really. And then they also allow the serious, intense moments to be serious and intense. Instead of like, oh, it's serious and intense, but boy, hey, I got a joke for you! Like that kind of, like allow the characters to process things. Because that's how real life works, like.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the fact that they allowed this movie to be much longer than any of their other ones, that it gave them that chance to have their characters do that and not feel like they were going to go over time.
Right, exactly. So, go see it.
Definitely. I definitely recommend it. I think the fact that they gave us as an audience a year to process this loss, because let's face it, a lot of us felt very down afterwards, like part of us had died with the characters, but the fact that we had that time to process for ourselves as well as the characters, I think that made it a lot more impactful than it otherwise could have been.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know what else to say without giving away spoilers.
Yeah, there's a lot I don't want to spoil.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go see it now, or click off this video now.
Save it to your watch later list.
Yeah. So anyway,
here we are. Spoiler warning.
And that's all you're gonna get now, because now, spoilers.
All right. So, oh my gosh, where to begin?
I don't know. There's a lot in this movie.
There's a lot going on, yeah. How to do this without, just giving a synopsis of the whole story.
Right. Well, I think one of the things that sticks out to me that I really liked, that was a creative choice that they did, was they didn't get into time travel causality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, Back to the Future, I run into my mom and now I'm disappearing.
Yeah.
Because now she's falling in love with me. Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, with the time travel, they don't, they can run into each other and
not have dire consequences.
Yeah, it's not going to be one of those annoying, like, nitpicky, everything's got to be perfect and we're going to restore the timeline to a perfect state and everything. It's kind of like, okay, we're going to do this and then do other things,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, I know. My original ideas for what was going to happen. I had originally thought that Doctor Strange had done something with the Time Stone. Turned out, no, nothing happened with that. It was just a moment, and people seeing it there happen were like, what? No going up Thanos' butt. I know that there was a theory about that going on.
Nope. No butt stuff here.
I'm sorry, that was just funnier than I thought it would be. Let's see. The quantum realm did end up being a part of how they solved the problem, being that they would go into the quantum realm since time works differently. Basically entering an alternate sort of conduit of time and being able to pop up at a different point in time instead of, right there where they're at already.
Yeah.
So I liked that idea. That made more sense than just, basic time travel mumbo jumbo that we normally get.
Yeah. I was taken aback when they got to Thanos in the beginning and they were gone.
Off.
Well, they cut his arm off, but there were no Infinity Stones. The fact that he had already destroyed them.
Yeah, that was
like,
that caught me off guard.
Yeah, I was like, well, now what? Like, how? And then they allowed the Avengers to sit there and go, well, now what? Like,
for 5 years, the characters had to figure out what they were going to do with themselves.
Yeah, and so they allowed time in the movie to let that reality sink in, which I thought was, like, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes, like, overcoming that obstacle that much more enjoyable, because you have this really deep low where you're like, shiz, the crap hit the fan and now it's all over the wall and there's no way to fix it.
Yeah.
And like, just let it, because it just stinks and you're like, what? But then when you overcome that challenge, it makes for a better, more satisfying conclusion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Something that I hadn't originally thought about, because there had been losses in Infinity War, and I guess in order for them to overcome Thanos in the Endgame, there still had to be losses and sacrifices made. It was kind of upsetting to see Natasha have to sacrifice herself for the Soul Stone. That was a deep moment. That was heavy.
Yeah.
I like that they just let it be a heavy moment.
Yeah. Nobody coming in and boy oh boy, zippity doo dah kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was just like,
and of course, some people couldn't come back.
Yeah.
Vision was just gone. Let's see who else. Oh, Tony. That was
heavy.
That was an ending for him that I was not expecting, and I'm a little sad about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good conclusion to his character arc.
Yeah.
But it was a sad end.
Yeah, definitely. Because you see him go from like, I can't ever, I can't accept failure. I can't accept like my own demise. Having PTSD about his own demise, to like, this has to happen in order for me to save people, and it's apparently the only option, according to Strange.
Yeah.
So that was, and again, no comedic relief from that moment, which I think is important. If you really want the audience to believe that this is an important sacrifice and that
it's permanent.
Well, just that it's permanent, but that it matters, and it matters to everyone else in the story. You have to let it be treated with gravity within the story. Otherwise, it's like, oh, well, I guess they don't care, so I shouldn't care. But because everyone else cares in this movie, like, oh,
this is a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and it's something that, it won't cheapen the moment for people who are fans of Iron Man and Tony Stark, It's like they get treated with dignity instead of, some slapstick moment coming in and saving it.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see. I really liked that they did a lot of throwbacks to their older movies that they'd done. Kind of wrap up all the loose ends that they sort of had, like the fact that Loki had the Tesseract in Infinity War. That didn't make sense to me because there was no reason for him to have it. But then they kind of showed us, oh, so that's how he got it. So, and again, the time causality thing isn't messed with.
Yeah.
I gotta say, really quick, just because it's on my mind right now, the scene where they're fighting Thanos and then all the other Avengers come in. There are 3 moments I can think of in film history that I've been alive for that will stay with me probably forever. Gandalf showing up at the Battle of Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings. Anakin and Obi-Wan's fight in Revenge of the Sith, and Avengers assemble in Endgame. That was a really beautiful moment that choked me up just because cinematically it was so beautiful. Not just the story of the characters suddenly all coming together, but it was just so well done.
And cinematically, you've got Thanos and his army, and Cap as a single solitary figure against that army.
That was such a beautiful shot.
And, then all the Avengers come up behind him, and it's just like, wow. Did I get a little bit of chills just describing it? Maybe. You can't see it, so I'm not going to say one way or the other. But pretty powerful. And I'm fairly critical of Marvel Cinematic Universe in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I really think that they did a masterful job with this film. They were bringing in things from the comic books that, are more contemporary, like the whole Hail Hydra moment, where that was a massive deal in the comic book scene, because they're like, Kevin Steve Rogers would never ever do this and that, and then the hammer thing, sup cat, him pulling Thor's hammer, that was epic.
That was an epic. Awesome moment.
It was it was great. Let's see, what are some other fantastic elements?
Oh man, there was a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think what I like is that it wasn't just Infinity War redo.
Yeah.
But things were different. The battle was different. Thanos.
Previous choices that had been made in Infinity War still held consequence and gravity.
Yeah, but then it was in a different place, a different time. Thanos came from a different spot.
Yeah,
and, it wasn't just an easy, oh, we're going to go back in time and we're going to fight back in time. And then once we get the stones, it's perfect. But it's
I kind of thought that was what was going to happen, but I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah, I was well, I don't know how it would go differently, but they made it go differently.
Yeah.
And it was really well done. Really well done. Yeah. So, I don't know what else to say, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those are the main highlights that we discussed.
There was like really big girl power moment.
Yeah, and
It was like,
I didn't mind it too much.
No, like I recognized that it was like a girl power moment, but I was like, hey, look, these are all pretty awesome. Like,
they're awesome characters.
Yeah, and like it's like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, they can have an awesome moment in the story. There's no problem with that.
And it's like Peter Parker's like, I don't know if you can get there by yourself. Like, I don't feel like it was like, oh, I think you're a girl, you can't do it. It's just like anybody's having a hard time getting it.
Yeah, they were all having some trouble.
And then like, oh, but she's not alone. She's got help. And then like it's all women there, and they just go kick butt, and it was like nice.
Yeah, it was a good moment.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah. I really like Nebula's character.
Yeah, that was.
I like how
that was an interesting play.
They've developed her over the films. Because like Gamora was kind of like a baddie, but she was never like
a real bad.
Yeah, she wasn't a real baddie. She had issues, but like Nebula was like definitely a baddie for a few movies, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
I guess a couple.
Even after the end of Guardians 2, it was still kind of up in the air about how she was.
Yeah. So I like that she is like changed and grown. As a
Karen
person.
Gillian did a great job.
Definitely.
They all did.
Yeah, I felt everyone in this movie did a fantastic job. They did a really good job of showing and not telling. Or if they were like telling, it was like because that character was we weren't seeing that character's point of view at all. Like when Spider-Man was like, oh, Dr. Fate, I was like not feeling good, but I must have passed out. And so then Dr. Fate was like, oh, come on, it's been 5 years. They need her help. Doctor Strange, right? Dr. Strange, oh, they need her help. They could have shown that, but like there's a reason they didn't show it, because it would have messed up the impact of
what was going on in the moment.
Yeah, and like showing everybody come out of nowhere, and just boom. And plus that's kind of Peter Parker's character, so it's in character for him to be kind of like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought it was really good. And you don't have characters saying, boy, it's just been real rough for me. Like, they show you how it's been rough for people. So, yeah. Really good.
Yeah.
And then probably one of the longest romances.
Oh, yeah.
Payoff in history.
Captain America and Peggy Carter.
Yeah. Like, from the first Captain America movie to now, like...
Yeah, that was like, what, 2012 maybe?
No, dude, I think it was it? I don't know. I thought it was earlier.
I don't know. Maybe 2011. I know it wasn't before 2010. Yeah. That was like around the time when it all first really started with Iron Man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just know that, like, because they kept teasing, like, this heartbroken romance again and again in every movie, like, and you're just like, well, I guess he's still hung up on her. Even in this movie, you're like, yeah, I guess he's still hung up on her, like, like, yeah, dude, it sucks, but, and then, boom, like...
Finally gets it.
Yeah. So it's like... Oh.
It's kind of a nice message for some older single people, Like, it doesn't matter how old you get or how long it's been, it can still happen.
Yeah, guess so. If only you go back in time and... go back to the love of your life, So it can happen for you too.
That's not
If only you
what I
have,
meant.
if only you have pin particles, you know,
That wasn't what I meant.
it can happen for you too. Pin particle dating, the newest online craze.
Oh man. Oh, wouldn't that be a thing?
Cha.
Oh, well, is there anything else we want to talk about for the movie? I mean, the music was
good.
Yeah, the portals scene, the music was spot on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A bold choice that they made was allowing Thor to be fat the whole time.
It was disgusting.
Chris Hemsworth, fat and braided beard. Like,
Wow.
I get the Viking imagery, cool, but he was
chunky.
He was hefty.
You look like melted ice cream.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a bold choice.
I wonder if he actually had to gain weight for that, or if they just...
He might have. I don't know. I
think it would have been easier to do CGI, but man, that was some believable CGI.
Yeah,
wow.
That was a belly. And it
was like the Santa Claus all over again.
Yeah. Does this look like a little weak to you? But also, like, from a film theory standpoint, it's like, you know, they're not undoing the past, but they have to just move on with the future in that way. Like, they bring everybody back, but they're not undoing the decisions that were made in the past.
Yeah.
So, like, he's still got to deal with that and get fit again.
Yeah.
So that way Marvel can have the ladies go for the eye candy. Well, the next Thor movie.
I don't know if there's going to be another. A lot of them aren't going to be returning for any more Avengers movies.
Really?
Yeah. Captain America is certainly not.
Well, yeah. Well, that's also because his characters.
Yeah, his character arc's over and his story's finished.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think a lot of them are coming back. I mean, I think Robert Downey Jr. is certainly done.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's not really coming back from that.
I've
Plus,
heard
they
rumors.
wrapped up like his character in a lot of ways, like dealing with his dad stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
I've heard rumors that they're working on a Black Widow movie, but I haven't seen any sources confirming that yet.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know, like, I never really paid attention to the whole Marvel phases stuff.
Yeah.
So, like...
I mean, ultimately, I think...
I don't know
if they were to end it with the Infinity Saga, I would be absolutely okay with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is save the best for last, you know? Like, don't screw it up, you know? Like, if it's great, let it be, you know?
That makes me concerned for Spider-Man 2 now.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who knows what'll happen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so... Anyway,
I think that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's about it for what I can think of at the moment.
Yeah, so for Marvel movies, we've been very critical of them, but this one is definitely...
But we give props when props are due, right?
This is definitely one of the best, if not the best of all of them.
Yeah, definitely.
I think if you haven't seen it, you definitely should. If you're still here, why haven't you seen it yet?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Hashtag sorry not sorry. You were warned.
But, yeah, I think that's about everything.
Yeah, that's about it. As you can tell, like, the emotional drain. Plus, we went to see it at 8:30 this morning.
Yeah, there was not a lot of time slots open.
It's a Saturday. We're up 7.
Yeah.
On a Saturday. Anyway.
Alright.
Well, and that, as they say, is that.